Jeffrey Dahmer soaked in blood.
The Unabomber blowing up.
Waco, Texas, and Heaven's Gates.
Aliens modified, meant for apes.
JFK shot in the head by the CIA.
Bigfoot and the Mothman.
Son of Sam talking to dogs again.
Witches,
Ghosts and goblins.
mysterious noise and hauntings.
Dark arts in the skull and bones.
Most celebrities are probably clones.
So if you're feeling all alone,
Crack a beer and get stoned.
I welcome you to the podcast Strange Brew.
We're here to entertain you.
We're here to entertain you.
It's about to get strange.
Not gonna lie, I'm making Aaron redo that.
Yeah. I like the animes in that too.
You need to get some bass in your voice. Welcome everybody back to the show.
So I started a nightclub for men with erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
It was a big old flop. No one came. Don't boo me.
Man, are you gonna ever run out? You think?
There's so many. They just get worse and worse though. Like yeah.
So
The internet's got a lot of them.
Are you afraid of ghosts?
I friggin' look like one right now.
Yes, Billy is like.
I don't know
white
why
as
I'm not
fuck.
that white, man. I don't know what's going on with my camera. I can't change the contrast settings either.
Well, that's fine. Considering we're talking about ghosts, you definitely look like one. You kind of look
you
like
did
this guy.
something. What did you do on your end?
Look
you
it.
did
It's-
something.
Billy looks the exact same as Casper the ghost.
What did you do?
There you are, right there. Look it. You're just waving. Just do
Hi,
that.
guys.
That's fucking funny. Yeah, welcome everybody back to the show. This is going to be a fun time. We're just kind of hanging out. We're going to be talking about some friendly ghosts.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
I can see that with like Ghostbusters and like they're going to catch the ghost, but turns out like these are actually just like really nice people in their own communities, and we're the evil ones for disrupting it.
That could be true, right? But now they're all the stuff that's with quantum physics and stuff. Now they're like starting to it's theories, but everything starts with a theory, and then you try to prove if it's real or not. And there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff going into it that a lot of the ghosts and paranormal stuff that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could very well be just someone in another dimension, and we just don't understand it, right? Like, because we can draw something on a piece of paper and understand kind of what like two dimensions, like a 1 or 2 dimensions are, but like the fourth dimension, we have really no clear cut idea of what could exist,
Or we make movies in 4D, so that works.
Do we though? Do we? Yeah,
It's
so
just
it's
a really good picture.
Yeah, so obviously, we've talked plenty about ghosts that are scary or like to haunt people and maybe do some dirty things. But you remember in Ghostbusters though, right? Dan Aykroyd gets a blowjob from a ghost. Do you remember that?
Does he now? No, I don't. I think I missed that scene.
You don't remember that scene?
When did that happen?
He's like, there's like a ghost chick floating over him, and then you see his belt being undone, and then he like rolls his eyes back in his head, and that supposedly was taken from a real life experience that Dan Aykroyd was. I think he was staying in a haunted house, in some hotel or something like that, and he swears that a ghost gave him a blowjob.
It's like a ghost.
What do you think it'd feel like? Do you think you'd actually feel it?
It's
Like
got to be just like imagination at that point, right? No.
Yeah, or is it
just
ectoplasmic slime, like an ectoplasm,
Ew.
where it's very
it's
slimy?
gross.
It's like a 95-year-old woman giving you a gummer.
Fucking silly putty.
So fucked. Because like realistically, and that's why I want to do something fun while we get into the stuff, and everybody watching live and listening, obviously give us 5-star rate and reviews. Tell your friends about the show. We're recording on a semi-early morning. I have my coffee going, so Billy's not drinking yet.
Yes, I am.
Oh, that's hilarious. You're sleazeman.
And I got vodka orange juice too.
That's hilarious. That would have been a good idea. I should have done that. When we think of ghost stories, we generally we think of something spooky, something scary.
I may look creepy, but don't let that put you off.
But obviously, there.
I don't know that voice, and it just sounds terrifying. He sounds like the dude. He pulled out. He's the broken car on the side of the road. He's missing an arm. His leg's all scratched up. He has like max 4 teeth total. He's like, I'm good. I just need some help.
Yeah, so obviously we think of spooky hauntings, the terrifying tales told at night around a campfire, but not all ghosts are out for revenge and scares. And few of them could even be, called friendly ghosts.
Ghosts are simply spirits without resolution, with unfinished business.
We're not talking about Casper here or anything, but the fact that there is sometimes ghosts that just want to be helpful. Mm-hmm. Maybe they want to be kind to children or even save lives. Either way, there's plenty of stories about ghosts that aren't terrifying at all. Hauntings tend to consist of loud noises, strange shapes, moving objects, or even ghostly apparitions. What if, instead, you just noticed that your room was a little tidier? What if you were, be prevented from hurting yourself by an invisible force? If that happens to you, you might actually start enjoying having ghost roommates. Would you like that, Billy?
Well, if they're being nice about it, like, I don't want them startling me at 3 a.m. or anything, but like, yeah, if you want to fold my laundry because I forgot to and I had to go to work, like, not against it.
Billy's got like an Aunt Jemima slave ghost. Get this fucking done.
I expect pancakes.
With lots of syrup. Between ghosts that help people and ghosts that are, maybe part of the family, there are a few stories that might leave you with a warm heart rather than cold chills. These are tales that, we welcome people to turn down the lights, get in the mood with us, Maybe stand in front of a bright shining light like Billy is, so you become a ghost.
What did you do to my camera? You did something.
Taught me.
I didn't do anything to your camera.
Yes, you did.
That Tomas is shady.
Yeah, so we were talking about friendly ghosts. Have you ever had a friendly ghost encounter, Billy?
Other than like them doing like chores for you, like how would you know? Because they're not talking, right? No one's having like communicated dialogue. So like, how do you know what they did was friendly, or
well,
how do you know it wasn't?
You could, you could play on the Ouija board.
Don't you? Oh, I was gonna say, don't you fucking dare say medium.
Yeah, you could talk to a psychic. And like, he says he just likes doing the chores, So this is a friendly.
Other than chores, that's what it would be, though, right? Like,
well, no, helping you out
makes them friendly.
So I've told the story before, but they're at my brother's grandma's place. I'm pretty sure that's where it was.
Okay.
There was supposed to be a story that this guy went out hunting during the winter, and the door blew open by mistake, and the kids and wife were sleeping, and he came back and found that his family was popsicles, all dead, frozen in their beds. And then I don't know, he probably died, or he killed himself or something like that. And I can't remember the full story. And then so he supposedly haunts this place, and during the winter, there's been times where people have left the door open and it's like slammed shut. And one time, even the grandma got like pushed back out of the way while the door was open. Like she felt like something pushed her.
Oh, like pushed her so she wouldn't get hit by the door.
Yeah, or like to get away from the door because it's cold, and he's like reliving his memories of what happened to his children and wife, and that's why he closed the door. People, this is like back in the day, when white people were taking over, and it was fun times,
I don't think you can say that.
I can say whatever the fuck I want, It's,
you almost did. Right. We're 1 minute away from the 10-minute mark to put this on YouTube without saying something off-putting that it's going to get taken down. You were so close.
Yeah, I can't get into that. We're gonna have a whole episode about some fun stuff coming up soon. So this is kind of just some of these episodes when they're lighter like this and they're kind of just fun, kind of hang out. Let's talk about some goofy ghosts. It's kind of like it's just to get you in a little bit, right? It's a buffer. Right, just before we get in some like really absurd stuff, conspiracy.
Warm up, an appetizer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what kind of appetizer do you think this would be?
We're getting into the meat and potatoes later. So for a steak dinner appetizer, you'd want like maybe a little escargot, something a little frilly, but like
It's a snail.
it's still good.
Yeah, it's true. Well, ghosts could be slimy. We did that ectoplasm episode, and
Clam?
I don't know if that's actually real or not. A lot of people think it's fake, but imagine if that was the case, your walls start dripping some white liquid, and you're like, what happened there,
I swear to God, I didn't do that.
So there's this manor house in Cold Ashton has been empty for decades, but it wasn't always this way. The house once was grand and full of wealthy tenants and staff. In fact, what kind of staff we're talking about? In fact, some believe that there are a few spirits who still call the manor home. There are stories of motorists who are lost in the area and have stopped near the friendly-looking house to ask for directions. Upon knocking on the front door, a butler answers and will insist them that, maybe try to help them figure out their way. Where are we going? What's happening? And the odd things here, not only that nobody lives in the house, especially not a kind butler, but also that house will appear to be fixed up and in use when they first approach. Only later, if you return, you find the house in shambles as it is today. So pretty weird.
Oh, like a little mirage. That's kind of cool though. I like that theory. That's a cool theory to be like, hey, if you need something and you're approaching it, it's all smoke and mirrors, and it's like, okay, this is acceptable.
It's kind of like a friendly little house. And
or he just wants to talk to someone. He's just like, no one's gonna walk up to this dump, and I don't have money to fix it up because I can't get a job. So,
well, it's almost like you step in his reality. Like a lot of times,
too. Yeah, that's true.
You think about the idea of like why would ghosts exist here? Because if they are beings from the fourth dimension, then they would have ascended to a higher level of existence, and then they're kind of just in another reality. Or is there a purgatory where I talked about this recently?
It's a punishment, yeah.
Where I was like saying, or is it like kind of where you're stuck and you don't even know you're dead? Because there's been stories about that where there's supposed to be ghosts that think they're still alive, and then they can't like speak to anybody, and you're kind of stuck in this reality where you don't really realize you're dead, even though I feel like it could be pretty obvious. But you're trying, like, I've heard stories about this where they're trying to talk to people and nobody hears them, and then you're kind of stuck
at first,
yeah,
you're just like, oh, okay, that's another day. What's going on? And it's like, haha, funny game, guys.
Everyone's ignoring me. I know my children ignored me before, but this is getting pretty bad, and then it's the idea you're stepping into like his reality kind of thing, and obviously what he sees the house as. If he believes that he's maybe still alive and he's just taking care of the house still and kind of repeats this process while he's dead, then you kind of come in almost like this veil gets put over the house and it looks like this nice house, and he's like, and he sends you on your way, go down to Piccadilly Circus. This is where you turn right. I don't know. I'm assuming it's in Britain or some shit. I don't know where Ashton.
Piccadilly Circus.
Yes, that's in downtown Britain. Yeah, London, England. Yeah.
Is that a real street? Did you just
it's real.
Pull that name out of your ass?
It's where they filmed American Horror Story. Not
shit.
American Horror Story, American Werewolf in London. One of the best horror movies, but yeah. So this guy was just like, send them on their way, get out of here. There are several versions of this story about the Blue Lady tale, but all of them end in tragedy. The popular version of the story goes that there's a beautiful young woman who always wore blue. Once fell in love with a handsome but dangerous ladies man who was a piano player at the Moss Beach Distillery in Northern California beach town. He's a hipster.
What year is this?
Don't know. Early 1900s, I think.
A piano player at the distillery. That doesn't seem like a job that they would have
back in the day, man.
I guess, yeah.
It's just some guy like where everyone's getting their booze on, they're getting drunk.
What a sick job, though. If I could just go and like play music in a corner of a bar and like actually make a living.
Yeah. You can do that if you want to. But you just
not
have
really.
To live
you
out
don't
of
really.
Cardboard box.
Yeah, you don't get much money. I could maybe make $400 a week doing that, and that's not really living.
The best thing is to grift while you already have a home or you have a job. Just dirty up your face. Throw some mud on there. Go out, have some ripped clothes. Sit there.
That happened to us in Toronto, eh? I tell you about that?
You did that?
No, it happened to us.
What do you mean?
So my mom was bringing me to. It was like the one time I went to Toronto. It was me and my mom, and we're getting Stan's Fries. If anybody's from Southern Ontario, that's like the best fry place in the freaking world. But got some Stan's Fries at the parking lot, and then we're crossing over, and this homeless guy's sitting there, and he's like, "Excuse me, do you have any change?" She's like, "No, like I only have my card. Like I'm so sorry." And she's like, "You know what? I can just go order more. Here, just like have my fries." And he grabbed that bag and fucking whipped it and goes, "I don't want your fucking fries, lady. I want your money." I'm like, damn.
It's like that scary movie thing where he's like, "I said $1, bitch," and she's like, "Here's a sandwich," and he just chucks the sandwich at her.
That's literally what happened, though. He dropped that down, and I was sitting. I must have been like maybe 7, 8 years old. I was like, okay, and that's enough.
Well, there's that one. I don't know if they caught him, but there's like a reality show or something, or they talked about this one guy, and we would panhandle like whatever on certain days of the week or the weekend, and then he was wearing like suits, and he was like rich, and he made like a ton of money, like
you can make good. I've
$100 grand or some shit in a year.
I've seen people like panhandling, especially working at bars. Like you'll just watch them throughout the day, and I'm like. Yeah. I've only looked at this window like 4 times, and I've personally seen you get over $150. Like God knows what the fuck else you did, but like
somehow
that's just what I see when I look
for some reason.
Yeah.
That's just so weird when you see homeless people with cell phones, man. It's like, who's paying for that? How do you have service? You know, checking his other homeless friends and be like, "Yo, meet up here. There's a lot of whiteys, man. They're paying up." So there's many stories. There's the stories of the lady in white. It's kind of the same thing where tragedy fell upon some young lady, and she kind of sticks around. So the young woman was already married to another, but she would visit her lover at the restaurant whenever she could get away. So she's hoeing. She's out there hoeing in her blue dress. Either
doing what she's got to do.
Yeah, either she died on the beach below the Northern California restaurant sometime in the early 1900s, or she leapt from cliffs to her death. Whatever the means of her death, she always is known for wearing a long blue dress and appearing somewhat melancholy. Do you know what melancholy means, Billy?
Like, I don't, but I'm going to confidently say, like, kind of chill. Is that
it means sad? It means like
I was like, I don't know. I don't know the definition of that.
Oh, Billy just left the fucking. What happened? Where did that fucking boy go? He probably clicked off of it for some reason. Oh man, where'd the boy go? Where's the boy? Where did he go? Fuck. Well, there he is. Yo, you disappeared just like a ghost.
I have no idea what happened. You're fucking with my shit today.
You are the ghost today, man. You're disappearing on us.
Anyways, melancholy means sad?
Yes.
Cool. I don't know. That was a gap in my knowledge.
So if you ever want to sound smart,
I didn't know that.
I'm feeling a wee bit melancholy today.
I feel like most people know that. I think that was a gap in my knowledge. For some reason, I didn't know that.
With such a sad story and a backstory, you would think she would be a frightening sight. Instead, the blue lady is a bit of a protector. She'll play her little pranks here and there. For the most part, she is seen by children. The cliffs by the restaurant perches atop and a great view. It offers a great view. This little cliff where she probably threw herself off of, supposedly, or her husband did.
Ooh,
you catch the bitch cheating. I think it's justified to throw off a cliff, right?
That was actually, I read that was in the law of 1901. It says, "Thy bitch cheats."
She goes
first off cliff. She goes. I read that one. It got torn out in like 1910 or something, but for those 9 years,
when the feminists and communists started pushing for women's rights, taking them out of the home so they could also be tax slaves with the rest of us.
Okay,
and then guess what? then the state can teach your kids, because the first thing they do is they don't take the guns, they take the kids. They brainwash the kids through the schooling system. Because back in the day, Mama and Papa used to raise the children, teach them whatever the fuck they want. Now the state's like, you got to learn our Communist Manifesto.
I'm gonna go on a limb and say people are a little more intelligent now that their own mother and father aren't raising them. But
Are you sure? Are you
I
sure?
am.
You know
I am. There's a
Generation Z
lot of.
can't fucking read, right?
There's no way they can't read.
Yeah, their test
Everything's on the
scores
internet. There's
their
no
test
way they
scores are
can't read.
drastically declining. Yes, because they're the iPad generation. So and they're not that smart. I'm telling you. Test scores have drastically gone down.
I'd beg to differ. I think that was just.
No, there's studies. There's studies.
I'd like to go see the fact checking on that because I
Okay.
don't really.
Billy's like going to the BlackRock site.
No, because I'm seeing
Fucking
I'm
routers.
seeing little kids like smarter than ever lately.
Yeah, that's
Like
because
and
they all
even
have
my
autism.
nephew being like 3, he's like fucking sharp as a wit.
That's a different.
like-
That's the different generation, bro. That's not Generation Z.
Generation Z
Z
is what
is like
age?
the iPad generation.
Yeah, well, every kid now is the iPad generation. No,
Not mine. I'm gonna make.
Well,
I'm gonna
no,
be
I said
whipping my
now.
kid out in the farm.
like Gen
No.
Z onwards.
I'm gonna make
What's
a little.
Gen Z
I'm
age?
gonna make a little farm. So my just like a baby little farm, and I'll make him pick cotton or something.
What's Gen Z age?
Let's see, Gen Z age range. That is 1997 to 2012. So
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Jeff's younger than me. That's fair.
yeah.
All
Yeah,
right, I get that.
and you've seen them, man. You
Yeah,
know what
like
they're doing
4,
out there.
5, 6 years younger than me. Yeah, okay, you're a fucking moron. But like the kids now growing up, they're back to. I think they're back to.
Well,
Rick.
it's because the millennials are now starting to get it. You
Yeah.
know, there's a lot of millennial parents that are like, I don't want my kid having a phone till they're like 16, 18. There's a documentary that came out. It's called The War on Children, and then they're going into that idea, and they're asking like millennials, like, would you give your kid a phone or an iPad? They're like, no, because they've seen what
well,
it
you
did to them.
get time, right? Like
yeah.
as long as it's monitored and it's not like because you see some parents and they're just giving their kid like 24 hours a day. It's like no
and then
attention.
there's,
It's
like-
just like get off my back, and it's like
Look at
that's not right.
Instagram and the stuff that like you can easily find where it's just like, and all of a sudden your kid's an OnlyFans fan. He's an OnlyFans fan, or she's on OnlyFans.
An OnlyFans fan.
But it's so this lady is appearing, and she usually is seen by children. She's playing little pranks, you know what I mean? And then God, never mind. I was gonna say something. But
Good call.
there's this great view of the cliff, but it can be dangerous, and she can be seen by children and keeping them away from it so they don't fall.
Nah.
But you don't want to fall down that hill. You'll turn into a ghost like me.
She's like, I did it, and I'll tell you, it was not fun. Thanks, though.
Well, good for her, man. She's just trying to protect the kids. You know what I mean? Like that's a good
Yeah.
friendly ghost.
That's a
Keep
great
him away
friendly
from the
ghost.
edge.
That's a
You
good
know?
girl.
And I'm sure that
That's
stuff
a nice
happens.
lady.
I'm sure that I'm sure stuff like this happens, right? There's one thing that me and Brett talked about on a Strange Mysteries episode, and it was this suicide dog bridge. It's dogs just commit suicide, and there's ghost dogs everywhere.
What?
Yeah. They just jump. They're just like compelled to jump off this cliff and commit suicide. And then there's just a bunch of dog ghosts everywhere, just barking, and you're just like, you hear barking all the time. You just don't know where it's coming from.
That's a sad thing. I don't like that.
You don't like that?
No, I don't like that.
You want to bring Chloe there?
No. No. Fucking borderline want to bring my dad's dog there though. Holy shit.
What kind of dog does he have?
It's a pug, and it's not his fault. The guy's just really old, but fuck me, is he annoying.
He's a pug?
Every morning, yeah, he's got to be pushing like 16 years old now.
And he's got
old
this
as
mushed in
shit.
face.
Well, it's a version of a pug. He's definitely mixed a bit,
Yeah.
but
Looks like he ran into a wall with his face first.
every single morning, like call it 6:30 on the dot, I got Whoop! I'm like, fucking what? It's like,
Right in your
piss!
face.
Like, fucking annoying. You let him outside and it takes 45 minutes to get him back inside, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill you.
That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
What's
So-
the ringing in the back of that? They have a
It's just from The Office, you know?
I may look creepy, but don't let that put you off.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Broadway is hardly dead,
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
but certainly it is it has its fair share of ghosts. One such is a ghost named Oliver Thomas. Once a chorus girl. Oh, Olive. What a name. Olive Thomas.
Mr. Olive.
No, it's a female. Would you name your daughter? Who names like kid Olive, man? It's just like the dad really loves, really loves his blue cheese olives, and he's like,
Okay,
no,
so
olive,
before the food, like if you didn't know what olives were, that's a sweet name.
Yeah, but it's a.
I'll give it that. That's a really cool
green-
name for a kid. But you'd have to have not known what olives were. That's a cool name.
Where does olive come from?
One olive. I want to know where the first olive was.
Yeah, it's been a plant forever. European olive. They're fucking disgusting.
I wonder if they called it something different back in the day.
Olive oil. If you had the last name Oil, I would definitely name my kid Olive. So stupid.
Okay, you got it.
Once a chorus girl, Olive was strikingly beautiful, caught the eye of many gentlemen who saw her perform. So she sang the chorus of some sort of song. Not only that, she was definitely a party girl. She loved her cocaine. I don't know. I'm just assuming party girl means you're getting mucked up, man.
I was gonna say back in 1990, that would have been more opioids and
This is
plant-based
1920.
drugs.
Oh yeah, she's like in the Chinese opium den.
And this would have been heroin and that kind of
They still had Coke though, but it was like they put Coke in Coca-Cola back in the day.
I know, back when it was good, eh?
It went crazy.
They
man.
ruined
probably
it.
Clean, probably super clean too.
Super clean Coke.
No, you're not fucking dying of fentanyl and shit like that back then.
Oh, that's what you mean.
Clean.
I wanted, like, I would love. Okay, this is kind of weird. There would be, if I had a genie and I had 3 wishes, trying the original Coca-Cola probably would be one of them.
Yeah, that'd be.
I am like I've been thinking about that for like 10 years, and I'm very curious.
And then you're like rubbing your fucking.
I just want to try it. I just want to see what it's all about.
It would be interesting, like when we did that drug binge episode. Everybody go check that out. That was a lot of fun. Is like the idea of like where every drug was like legal, and they would be like, "Oh, your tooth is sore? Here's some cocaine. Just rub it on there."
Welcome to
just, like,
Vancouver.
Sitting in the fucking corner of your room, and you're like, you hear the baby crying, but you don't actually hear it. It's just everybody else hears it, but you don't. You're just in your own mind,
So for everybody,
like, shh, and then you give the baby heroin. You just rub heroin on its lips.
a little bit of whiskey don't hurt no one.
I hurt you. You're whiter than a ghost.
I don't know what you did.
So she won beauty contests, became a model, and had a quite successful career in life until she died in Paris in 1920. Very sad. So what a lovely
Paris,
lady.
Ontario?
No. So what a lovely lady, such as, what would her afterlife be like? The after party of her afterlife, why? She'd flirt with men, of course. So gentlemen who visit the New Amsterdam Theater might spy a beautiful woman. Where you going, you fucking mook?
You went full retard, man.
Sorry, it scared me.
So
my dad's out there moving cars around, and I just saw Chloe run past the window, and I just wanted to make sure she wasn't going to get ran over. All good.
Yeah, she'll join the dog suicides.
Shut the fuck up. Do not say that again.
You'll have a friendly ghost dog, hang out with. So she would flirt with men, of course. Gentlemen who visit the New Amsterdam Theater might spy a beautiful woman dressed in period show clothes and may even converse with her if the girl maybe takes a shine to them. This is a ghost who has no interest in frightening you away, though she may try to steal the show when it comes to the particular male audience. So she comes in, she flirts with the men.
She's a show pleaser.
She flirts with the men.
She's a runner. She's a track star.
Yeah, maybe she's like giving him lap dances. I can't see you. She's like, see
you like this, right?
You like this, right?
I think so. I don't know.
So that's pretty fun. That's a fun time. Coked Billy seems sketchy.
What? Where are you getting those?
Dutch is in the chat like always.
Hey,
and
Dutch,
the thing
how
is,
you doing?
Yeah, we're just going live to a couple places. This will go live in a couple weeks. So the Nut family owns the richest. Oh, weird. This is called the Nut family, I guess. Plenty of people have tried to get rich off of ghost sightings, but rarely does it happen that a ghost goes out of their way to make somebody rich. Now, this is the ghost that you
This
want.
is the ghost you want. Yeah, no, 100%. I'd like to know those lottery numbers, Mr. Ghost.
One such case of the Nut family in Uppingham, England. Uppingham.
The creators of the peanut?
Yeah, it's the Nut family.
You think so?
Yeah. No,
They
or
make
is it
cashews? Oh, that's
or
why
is
they're
it
so expensive.
the Nutty Professor?
I love when you say something and you go, eh, and then you wait.
Eddie Murphy's dressed up in a fat costume haunting you. That'd be fucking annoying.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah.
I haven't seen those movies in a long time, but I actually wanted to try to watch it the other day, and all I could find was the clumps or whatever, you know, like the second one where it's like based on his family and he plays every character.
I don't think I ever watched the second one.
Really? It's pretty bad. It's and then you get to meet them all the fat black family.
What do you mean? Like you couldn't find it on anything? Like it just wasn't streamable?
No, I couldn't find the original. I'd have to pay for it or rent it or whatever. But the second one was like everywhere. The Nutty Clumps or what? I don't know what the hell it was called. I'm gonna look it up. Second Nutty Professor.
So how does this ghost make people rich though?
You really want to know how to get you rich, eh?
Well, I'd like to have a conversation with them, but
you never seen the Clumps, eh?
No, I've never seen that one. No.
Okay, let me show you just for fun. So gay. Look at the Clumps. Wouldn't you want to hang out with these are a bunch of fun folks, eh?
The Clumps. What a name.
What a weird movie that whole thing was. And this is the original. It was it was a white guy that did it. It's so fucking weird. I haven't seen that shit in a long time. Billy's favorite movie. I bet you that's somebody's favorite movie out there. You know, somebody out there is like, I just absolutely love the Nutty Professor. I give it 5 stars. You'd be surprised if you read movie reviews of actual people, it can be like the fucking worst movie ever. And there's some people that are like, man, absolutely loved it. What a great time. And it's like some of the worst shit. When me and Aaron go through some of the reviews of these movies that are like trash, and it's just like, how you really like this? Did you?
To each their own. Everyone's got their own little taste.
It's in the eye of the beholder.
Fuck, people like me. I don't know why.
Yeah. You just like comedy movies. Can't get him to watch anything. As long as
it needs to make me laugh.
One such case concerns the Nutt family in Uppingham, England. The oldest daughter of the family, 18-year-old Anne, began seeing a strange ghost who was saying that something was hidden in the house. They searched it, but initially found nothing. Still, Anne and her helpful ghost friend were persistent. The ghost at last indicated one particular flagstone. When it was overturned, a black pot was found beneath it. It's a fucking leprechaun. Inside the black pot was almost 200 silver coins. It goes to show that on an occasion, living in a haunted house can really, really pay off, you know? Can definitely pay off.
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Make me rich, ghost.
So at what line do you just move into a haunted house now? Because the first words you hear are like 99.9% of everything that you hear about ghosts.
What?
So I'm saying, at what point do you move into a haunted house now, hoping that the ghost is actually going to make you rich?
Or is it going to give you a
kill
blowjob? Or a blowjob?
No. Those stories are so rare. Like,
they don't always suck dick. It's only on occasion. I know. Mostly it's like some sort of demon.
On your birthday.
I know. Or it's like some sort of demon and it's like it talks like a little girl, like, I'm a friendly little ghost. And then you like get a little closer and it's going to bite your head off. You know, because a lot of demons will parade around as like child ghosts to lure people in. It's supposed to be a lot of, according to Zach Baggins, Ghost Adventures. They believe that a lot of like the children ghosts are demons and they're just like masquerading and tricking people into believing that they're helpless kids, like, you know, throwing a ball around, and then you find out that it's a demon. It's a mad demon.
Okay, that's not cool. See, they should stop doing that. You know what? You know what's probably going to make them stop doing that? why don't you all line up on the side of the street with your protest signs?
Yeah,
That'll show 'em.
that'll really help. That's really changed anything, anywhere, at any time.
That was the joke, but thanks.
The life of a nurse can be hard, especially when you're new on the job. You know, you gotta change the old guy's fucking poopy diapers. You know, stuff like that. I'm sure that it's not really.
What
fun.
did I just miss? Sorry.
A nurse. The life of a nurse
a
can be
nurse.
very
Sorry.
hard,
Okay.
especially when you're new on the job. I feel like
Yeah.
the new nurses are the ones that have to change the poopy diapers. You know.
You think it's tiered like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like once you have
Seniority.
enough years under your belt, you
Yeah,
no
you don't-
longer have to touch diapers.
No, you don't have to. That's something I could like. I'd be like throwing up on him. You know, what I mean, I'm sorry. Like their whole bed's just covered in poop, and then I threw up. Like that one. Do you remember that? I don't know if you. I
Takes a
think you were
strong
around.
gut for sure.
Remember that one time at Swish LA where the lady shit herself in the chair. This old lady.
I do remember
and
that.
it was all
Oh
up
my
her back,
god!
and the chair was like disgusting. Were you in dish pick? Because somebody had to clean it in dish. I can't remember. If it was you.
I didn't know. I was cooking at the time. No, I do remember that though.
It was all up her
Oh,
back.
that was so
Ugh.
nasty.
And they had to spray it off in the dish pit, the chair. It was like, it's so gross. I'm
It
sure
was- I
she
think
was
it was-
really embarrassed.
I think it was Matea. She grabbed the chair back and she's like, "Hey, so we're just gonna give this a quick rinse." And we're like, "What the fuck?"
I know. We're all like, what the fuck? She's like, yeah, it's all up her back. And I'm like, oh, that's so disgusting, man.
Poor
Sometimes,
girl.
you know, that's the chicken, man. Oh, that fucking buttery, that oily, like, you know, when they use it, base it in the chicken fat.
It's
and
a
it makes you poop.
lot of grease.
It's a lot of fat that they put on that chicken.
Yeah, a lot of fat.
Yes. So, you know,
I forgot about that. You just baste the crap out of
Yeah.
it before you put it in the oven.
if fans don't know, it's a Canadian restaurant that is pretty garbage.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
I like the Thanksgiving dinners.
well, I could go off about that fucking horrible restaurant. They kept changing it. Now that's just back to the same old, just chicken and ribs. There's like no stir fries or pastas or any of the things that they were trying to do. Like we make chicken and ribs. Let's just stick to chicken and ribs, okay? We make
they don't do
shitty
the
chicken and
stir-fries
ribs.
and shit
No,
anymore?
not that I know of. Last time I
What?
went there, where I had to like work party or some shit. I don't know.
Their
Can't
stir
remember.
fry was bomb.
They had some pretty good stuff, and then they're like,
Yeah.
no, we're gonna just stick to what we know best. And that's that. It's
Oh,
just
those
so crazy.
flatbreads, those Southwest flatbreads.
They're not there really anymore. So yeah, it's disappointing.
Those are so good. I love those
yeah.
so much.
Call the
sucks.
Swish LA. I bet you'd be like, hello.
Do we have enough viewers and followers to get Swish LA to change policies, you think?
No, we just gotta
Nah,
get
I
everybody
don't think so
on
either.
board. I don't even know if anybody even cares about Swish LA anymore. It
I
is literally a
don't.
place for old people to go to get their chicken and rice.
It is.
Fortunately, the nurse in this story, there was a veteran on staff to show her the ropes, sort of. One night while working in the hospital, completely overwhelmed with her new job, Ruby had an older nurse come warn her to check on room 8. When she did, she found the patient was in trouble, but was able to help her in time. The nurse, the old lady's trying to kill herself. I don't want to fucking be here anymore. When she did, she found the patient was in trouble. The helpful nurse warned her several more times throughout the evening about the other patients all trying to kill themselves. I don't know if that's the case, but I feel like once you're at a certain point, you know, you just like kind of give up. And then you can sign up for MAID here in Canada. You're sad? I'm going to make a new ad where it's like, you feel depressed? Are you sad because of the roaring inflation that's caused by your government? Sign up for MAID. You know, the government made your life unlivable, so we're going to make it unlivable for you. And then in
We
turn,
will help.
yeah, the patients reported that they've been checked on by another nurse. When Ruby asked her fellow nurses about this strange, helpful woman, she found that stories of Martha, a nurse who helped recent nurse grads who still made her rounds on the patients 30 years after her own death. Isn't that creepy?
So was everybody aware of
That's
this?
weird. That's weird.
So like all the
Weirding me
students.
out.
Okay, is the sound done now? Okay,
Yes.
so anyways,
You, Billy. Now I will.
so we're all the now I will. So were all the students aware of it?
I guess so, which is
anytime they met
crazy.
Martha, they're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're dead. This is cool. Whatever, you're
We're just
helping.
hanging out with her.
All right,
She shows you the ropes. You know what I mean?
all
Like,
right.
okay, you're dead already. Can you clean up the poopy diapers?
Let's go, Martha.
Alive or dead, anyone who helps out nurses when they're overwhelmed is definitely worth having around, you know?
Yeah, it's a very noble entity. That's the
Yep.
word.
She's giving everybody vaccines so they can join her in the afterlife.
Oh, stop. Don't you go down this road again.
So some people are so devoted to their families that their love carries over even after death. James Lewis Caffin had a nasty fall and died in 1921, leaving behind a wife and 4 sons. When it came time to read the will, the family found, to their shock, that everything was left to the 3rd son. The dad's like, I only liked you. Okay? Out of the whole family, you were my boy. I only liked you. Everyone else was a piece of shit. With nothing for the rest of them. This could have been an unfortunate end of it if it wasn't for the appearance of the ghost a few years later in 1925. The ghost of James began to appear to one of his other sons, assuring him that the will was fake. It turns out that he left everything to the family instead of just one son. But that kid was obviously shady. What followed was sort of a treasure hunt, leading from clue to the next until a new will was discovered, hidden in an old family Bible, in a Bible.
In a Bible.
This will changed everything, and it said that it should be split up between the 4 sons, as the ghost had foretold. So somebody was doing some shady shit. That 3rd son definitely, like, you know, when like you got an old guy, your dad's like dead, he's just in a wheelchair or something like that, and you just like get him to you just move his hand to write the will.
Enough people have done that though. Like that.
Oh yeah.
What's crazy is that's like, I'm gonna go on a limb and say 50% of all people in this shitty country do shit like that.
100%. Because at the end of the day, right, you could probably get away with it if people are essentially senile and they don't remember and be like, oh, you got to make these changes to your will.
It's wild.
And then they sign it over, and then it's like, oh, I got all the money now, you know. But
how do you live with yourself? Like, actually,
I don't know.
How do you live with yourself? Like, literally doing something that shitty to somebody.
There's people that kill people, and they're like all fine about it, right? So it's about these sociopaths. If they don't, we're in a world now where a lot of people are bred to only care about themselves, you know,
That's true.
and to look out for themselves and all that shit, and me, give me more, and not helping out anybody.
Look after you because nobody else will.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
well, we used to back in the day, people used to take care of each other. You know,
Yeah,
now we don't.
course.
Now we just take care of immigrants. With a name like the Gray Man.
You can always find a way to sneak that in, eh?
With a name like the Gray Man. What serial killer did they call the Gray Man? Do you remember? Starts with an A, his first name. Last name with an F.
Aaron Frank.
Albert Fish.
Yeah.
Albie, remember? They call him the
Mr.
Gray Man.
Albies. I didn't know they called him the Gray Man.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Well, I probably
If people
did know.
don't know, go back and listen to that episode. He was a sadomasochist, so he liked pain, and he shoved pins in his bum. And then when they tried to electrocute him, it short-circuited the electric chair because there was so much metal in his bum.
I remember that now, yes.
So fucked up. This spirit sounds pretty frightening, but in reality, he's probably the best kind to be haunted by, because he just might save your life. No one knows the identity of this South Carolina ghost, but they do know that he has good intentions that results in that actions can be seen. His actions can be seen that he's a good boy. You know,
he's a good boy.
He may sound scary, but he's a friendly guy. You know,
he's Mr. Casper.
Casper, the friendly ghost.
I guess actually, yeah. Fuck, you've been showing that the whole time, and I'm just like, I forgot that was a movie.
Yeah, it was a movie, a show. Man, there's like a 1940s or 50s show or whatever. You know,
Casper used to help with the kids a lot.
Yeah, he was a good boy. He used to help out, but even the movie's kind of sad, you know? The dad tries to turn himself into a ghost and shit, and at the end, like, he becomes, for some reason, when he's dead, he looks like some cue ball, bulbous, like, weird ghost, but then he's like a little boy. When they show him when he comes down the stairs and he's able to have one night with the girl, and it's just like, it's kind of weird. It's weird that the dad, like, kills himself, and it's just like, all right, well, I want to be a ghost, and then the ghost trick him into
well, who produced it? That's not Disney, is it?
No, that was like a Warner Brothers. I don't fucking know, something like that. It definitely wasn't. Maybe it was Disney. I don't think it was.
Maybe it was Disney.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
You know,
Yeah,
I used to
most
like
of the big thing they mostly have.
I used to like the
messed up
Casper and
narratives.
Wendy thing when I was a kid because Hillary Duff when I was like 8. I was like had a crush on her when I was
Oh
a
yeah,
young lad.
who didn't have a crush on Hillary Duff?
When a rain falls down and whatever the fuck that song is, I can't remember. Something about raining. It's raining in the video. She's just dancing in the rain.
And when it falls down, stuff happens.
Don't fall down, it can't get up again. Never gonna get down. There's so many stories of this legend that's hard to just pick one, but the story seems to go down in in kind of like each time it's kind of similar. Right before a major storm, a serious problem in the coastal regions of South Carolina, the ghostly shape of a young man will appear and warn residents that a hurricane is coming. He will tell them to leave, get to shelter, and even has been known to guard houses from serious damage. But there's stories of homes remaining untouched when he visits them, even if the surrounding buildings are destroyed. That's a good ghost, man.
That's a good
If
point.
he's like protecting you from like storms and shit like that, that's kind of great.
Is he protecting you or his property?
Yeah, maybe because he doesn't want to see
Yeah.
it go to shit, right? Or
Mhm.
where was he with Hurricane Katrina, man? Come on, you want to like help
Do
it?
ghosts die? You think
What
eventually? Do they eventually have a lifespan? Like, it's
Well,
like
yeah.
I only lived 10,000 years and then I died.
Well, they would eventually reincarnate, right? There's that theory where when you
Oh,
die,
that's
everybody,
great, yeah.
don't go towards the light. Because supposedly reincarnation is slavery, and we're just being used as an energy source for the reptilians or these dark entities that exist beyond. And supposedly if you go towards the light, it does go towards a hospital room, and then you're constantly reincarnating. But if you turn around, you have the whole universe, and you can kind of do what you want, and you can ascend to a higher level, supposedly. It's always supposedly, because supposedly, we don't know.
Well, because I'd love to see the interview of somebody backing that with proof. They'd be like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill you right quick, and what's gonna happen is there's gonna be light on one side and dark on another. Go
Yeah,
that
well,
way. Come
it's
back.
like
Tell us
that
what happened."
Flatliners movie where they would die
Oh,
for
I
a
remember
couple
that.
seconds. I haven't seen that in a while. I'd probably rewatch that at some point. But like, what a scary thing where you're just trying to reach the other side just to see, and then you
Yeah.
kind of get high off of that feeling because it's euphoric. And who knows if you can do things, you got like maybe 10 minutes. You go fly around, do something, trick somebody. Be like Hollow Man sucking on titties.
Yeah, might as well.
Remember that movie?
Sorry, it's so sketchy. I hate that. I just see my dog running around. I see a bunch of cars moving. I'm getting
It's
sketched
fine.
out here.
Just spray her inside.
It's probably fine. He's
You
fine.
okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
One of America's most famous presidents is also one of the most famous ghosts.
What's one of the most famous presidents? Are they all ridiculously famous? Oh, Lincoln.
Yeah, stinking Lincoln, bro.
Lincoln's everywhere. He's in everyone's wallet.
Yes, he's also gay. Do you know that?
Okay, where did that? Like, who documented that?
He never
Like,
slept
really?
Listen, he never slept with his wife supposedly, and he always slept with his homie in the same bed.
Maybe he was asexual.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't care. But
Maybe he was scared and his homie was stronger than his wife.
Lincoln was
He's
a
like,
tall.
someone's gonna come in here. I need you to save
Well,
me."
Lincoln used to wrestle and stuff, bro.
I know,
he was
but
like
he's still a little scaredy cat. He wrestled because he was scared. That's my narrative.
He wrestled because he liked to touch other boys.
That's also a narrative. Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, he's supposed to be never slept with his wife, and he always slept beside his homie in the same bed. Some guy that he was like friends with.
Wonder
So who
why his
knows?
wife stayed.
He was really advocating for those, to end slavery. But the proclamation, so that it's like the proclamation to end slavery. A proclamation is only a statement. They never wrote into law that slavery was actually illegal, in terms of actually legalities. They just learned how to turn everybody into a slave. Tax cattle.
That's okay. So those are two different situations. But yes, no, it 100% is
Proclamation.
legally written that
It's
you can't have slaves. No, it is not just a proclamation. It is a bill and a right and an amendment that people have freedom now. And that's what
Can
it
I
is.
own a slave? How do I look this up? Can I own lava, man? Can I own a slave?
Man, dude, I'm telling you, that is written in the law. Is no man shall own another man.
Okay, so it says I can. Countries that still have slavery.
Okay, yeah.
Canada.
Oh, I meant here.
Slavery in
Canada.
Canada.
Fuck off.
9 facts about slavery they don't want you to know. Dun dun dun. We're going to do that at some point, too, so everybody be prepared. I want to do a human slavery episode, so that'll be fun. I'm going to go back in history. We can dive into all the slavery. So much slavery, you know. When the Irish were enslaved, everyone was enslaved at some point. In the Ottoman Empire, they enslaved a lot of white people, you know. So, but we'll get to it. It'll be a fun time, you know. What a time to be alive. We could be like owing somebody. You're like, you're mine. You're mine, Edward Jim. Get on the field.
You ever wonder what kind of slave owner you would be?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I like cars now.
One of the most famous presidents obviously is Lincoln, and he does haunt the Ford Theater supposedly. Everything supposedly where he was shot. Lincoln also supposedly haunts the White House to this day. Not only that, but he is seen by some pretty famous people. Mary Todd Lincoln reported seeing and feeling his presence. That was his wife, and she would do like seances and stuff to try to talk with him. There was supposed to be a photograph of him watching over her. It probably is fake. Let's see if we can bring it up. The stinking Lincoln ghost. Lincoln ghost. Where is he? Oh, that's weird. Oh yeah. This photo, this famous photo. It's a famous photo, and I don't know because this could be easily faked. But right here, you see him? He's standing over her supposedly.
Oh yeah.
I just feel like somebody faked that. She was a frumpy looking, ugly woman, to say the least, man. Woo! Time really beat her with a stick. Crazy.
Well, someone did anyway.
Someone beat her with the ugly stick. But but who knows? Someone could have faked that, right? And then put a suit because they were able to do little tricks like that with cameras, and then gave it to her, and she believes it, and she's like, "Here's 1,000 shillings or whatever fucking money they had back then."
1,000 shillings.
You know, because that was definitely a thing.
Gold,
Imagine when we talk about the
probably.
Fox sisters, which were notorious. Two notorious women that were would fake seances and have do little methods to trick people because it was a big booming thing. Even though I do believe there's in such thing as hauntings and ghosts and other things in different realities, there's definitely people that took advantage of that. The idea of the ectoplasm thing that we talked about, where people thought they were faking these photos and then people believe it and they're using cheesecloth and snot or whatever.
Well, you get the Ghostbusters that, again, to bring it back to them, they're the ones that made that big. Nobody ever knew about ectoplasm or talked about anything until Ghostbusters did it.
Yeah, but they were doing it back in the day. Remember the 1920s, 30s? There was photographs of people faking it, supposedly.
Faking ectoplasm. Well,
Yeah,
I guess
so
it
they'd
wasn't
use,
called. It was only
cheesecloth.
called. Sorry, it was only called ectoplasm from Ghostbusters. They were the first
called
ones
it.
to call
They called
it
it
that.
ghost plasma or some shit like that back in the day. So she supposedly saw her husband watching. There's that photograph of him watching over her. More than that, Winston Churchill, Teddy Roosevelt, Eleanor Roosevelt, and many other White House staff has seen his ghost or felt him watching, and few have even had conversations with him. It's like I made a mistake. We shouldn't have been in slavery. Just find out he's really racist.
I love that too. It's just like last time we talked about that, where it's anytime that anyone says they've had a conversation or done something, and then it's like, what did you hear? And it's the most methed out dude in the fucking world. He's like, I heard things. Someone told me I'm supposed to be on my schizophrenia pills, but I forgot them last week.
Do you know where Lincoln wanted to send the black slaves when they freed them?
Home?
He wanted to send them back to Africa. And it's just they've been here for generations. They have no connection to Africa other than where they were from being there. But he's like, we gotta send them all back. You know? It's just we're like, I don't know family there anymore. You guys took me away. My black uncle sold me into slavery, and I'm over here and I don't know him anymore. He sold me. Which is so crazy.
You go back. He's like, it was a big misunderstanding, son.
I didn't mean.
I don't know
to
what to tell you.
They
were paying good money.
An evening where British Prime Minister Winston Churchill, that war criminal, took a long hot bath while relaxing with a scotch and a cigar after genociding people, because that's what he did Churchill's not a nice guy. Wasn't a nice guy. They frame him in this like, oh, he was this great leader. He got in during the war, and then he was bombing the living shit out of people and did not care. He killed way more people than the Germans did, and was a ruthless war criminal, in my opinion, if you actually dig into a lot of the history. And it's funny that it's based on who writes the story of how we view certain people, right? And especially him, he's like looked upon as this great guy. He wasn't a great guy. He was a warmongering fuckhead. So that's what I call him. When he got out of the bathtub, he walked to the adjoining bathroom naked. He had his little doodad just hanging out there. I don't even know how he got into the bath. That guy's a big fucking monstrous fat man. And he caught a glimpse of Lincoln. When he got into the bath, it just all overflows. There's like no water left.
He's a big boy.
He got a glimpse of Lincoln's ghost standing there by the fireplace, which is crazy. He's kind of like he looks down. You know, Lincoln's also naked. You know, Lincoln's got his log out. He's like, "Good evening, Mr. President," Churchill reportedly said. "You seem to have me at a disadvantage." It's so weird. Lincoln smiled softly. Lincoln smiled softly as if he was laughing and then disappeared. Churchill smiled in embarrassment. So Lincoln's like, "Nice tiny dick there, bro." And then he just like faded away.
Why would he tell anybody that? Why would that be a conversation? I don't understand.
Yeah, Lincoln's like, "Yo, bro, I see you got little dick man."
This is what America's builds off of.
Yeah. Lincoln shows his log, you know. That's funny.
Fuck me.
Splitting trees with that thing, they said. Oh no, that was wasn't that
Who said that? Who said that?
Who said what? That he saw his tiny wings?
No, that he was splitting trees with it.
No, that was what's the other famous one with the goofy haircut? We all know him, the Freemason. Washington.
Oh,
Washington.
Yeah.
Didn't he split tree? Didn't he like cut down trees or some shit? Where's the famous story?
With his dick?
No. Lincoln,
what are you talking about?
Tree story. Lincoln service near me. Lincoln tree service. Was it Lincoln in the cherry tree? Oh yeah, because he's like, "I would never tell a lie." You know, you remember that? Lincoln's tree story turns into a tall tale. Interesting.
But he wouldn't tell a lie. He said that.
Yeah, he wouldn't tell a
So
lie.
it has to be the truth.
Exactly. You just say you never lie, and then you just lie.
They don't know. She don't know.
It's like calling anyone anti-Semitic that doesn't agree with your genocide. Sometimes spirits.
You're still hung up on that, eh?
Man, it's crazy what people can get away with if they're like, "You can't say anything bad about us. We were victims like fucking almost 100 years ago now. We were the victims, okay? We have an excuse." We want to destroy the entire third world and then send it to everyone else's backyard so we can have it all for ourselves, so we can erect the Tower of Babel and bring back Babylon, because that sure seems like what they're doing. Sometimes spirits seem to get so attached to a house they refuse to leave, but they still welcome others to visit, you know? One such case is that of Molly Woodruff and her home in Memphis, Tennessee is TN, I think, right? Yeah, Tennessee. Molly lived in a house all of her life, got married in it, she eventually died there too. Once the house became a museum, people started to notice that there was a friendly spirit about. She was given gentle directions to Dawsons. So the people, like, she would give directions on how people should arrange the furniture and stuff like that when they were like moving in, as it was originally set up in her day. You know, she's like, it'd be annoying. You're moving into a house. You okay there, bud?
Yeah. I don't know.
Ghostly noises.
Fucking hate that he's doing that right now.
Just be like, wait, bro.
He's plowing the dirt around the house, and no idea where the fuck Chloe is.
Chloe's fine. She'll be fine. Tell him to watch her. She'll be fine.
He will. I just get worried.
She's like you're always worried.
Oh, worried for her, yeah. Of course.
You gonna be okay?
No. You come hold me? You want to come fly down?
Fuck
Give me
it.
a hug?
I know. Me and Brett were talking about coming up to visit you. Brett wants to take a trip.
Oh, sick.
Nice. I was like, well,
that'd be awesome.
When and where, even if it is next year.
It's like a 15-hour drive.
Yeah.
Not bad. Well, come fly. It's a cheap flight. If you book the flight like 2 months in advance, it'll be like $200 round trip.
That's not bad.
I'll come pick you up.
We want to take down Brett's apocalypse truck.
You got to do it in the summer though. You'd fucking hate winters down here.
I'm sure I would.
Yeah, come down in the summer.
This would be an annoying ghost. You have some fucking bitch named Molly, and she's like, "Put the couch over here." It's like, "No, I don't want it over there." She's like, "Fucking do it."
She just moves it.
She picks up over her head. You know,
couch goes here.
She would check up on guests, occasionally clean things, and relax on the beds. Though she never messes them up. Weird. She was a perfect spiritual guest, as well as a perfectly ghostly hostess that employees are happy to have among them. So she was kind of just hanging out, and she'd be like, "Put it here." And it's just so interesting. 'Cause are these stories even real? Or
Probably not.
Or is this just like a fun thing that they're like, "Yeah, we just made this up so we get visitors to this place," Because there's that too. Eventually,
that too.
I was debating on doing. We'll be getting into a house, or the house. We'll be getting into a ghostly house. We'll be getting into an episode based on the original Conjuring movie at some point. And,
okay.
And it's fairly interesting, and I'm hoping that me, you, and Aaron can throw it together. That's what we're gonna try to do today. But I was like, friendly ghost sounds fun, and it's the idea. The Warrens, the people that the Conjuring was based off of. They were probably some of the stuff they experienced and went through might have been real, but they were definitely kind of scammers, and they made money off of it. And only maybe some of their stories could be true, but there's a lot of fraudulent stuff going on with those guys. Those two. You can make money.
Yeah,
off
it's free
of it.
money too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's what I'm not above making up a ghost story to
make some money. I know you'll sell your underwear on the fucking internet. So
why has nobody inquired about that? Why again? So we just did the dark web episode not too long ago. I put it out there that I will piss on underwear and sell it for $50 to anyone who wants it, and nobody.
No, you gotta pretend to be like a. You gotta wear Japanese anime the skirt and like Sailor Moon, and then you gotta do those weird when the NPC kind of characters, and just pretend you're like a Japanese chick, and then someone will buy it. They love that shit.
I can make a living off it.
And if you're in Japan, you gotta buy what's that thing called? You gotta buy a vending machine.
Okay.
And then you just gotta stock.
And I gotta
up
put
with
it
panties.
in the vending machine.
And then
where do they put these vending machines? Are they just in the mall?
They're in weird weird stores and stuff like that. But
your local convenience store be like, hey, you're buying a pack of smokes. Be like, I'll splurge on a pair of underwear.
There'll be a picture of the girl that peed in the panties. So
God!
So all you have to do is you just have to fake it to make it. You just gotta put a little picture with it of some get a bunch of different pictures of Japanese chicks. And then keep it with the underwear, and then they smell it, and they think that it's the scent of this, is probably a young Japanese chick, and then it's actually a man's pee-pee. But why would they know the difference?
That's so weird, man. It's so weird.
They want poop stains, not piss. Oh, you got to poop in there now.
How do you know that, Dutch?
Yeah, how do you know?
What'd you do? What have you been doing?
Many spirits haunt houses to protect him. And while Avery of the Pink Palace in Louisiana might be doing just that. The Pink Palace, man. That's what I call the poons. Yeah. Did you call your girl's vagina in the Pink Palace? You should do that.
Pardon?
I'm going inside your Pink Palace tonight.
That's okay.
He also protects those who live in it. Avery has been described as a southern gentleman, well kept and properly attired, appears to help those who are in danger. And he appears to people who are in danger and shows up. And when a developer turned the mansion into apartments in the 70s, reports started coming in that a spirit appearing right before disaster struck. One woman was frightened out of her bathroom just before a stone was thrown through a window that might have killed her. Who's throwing those stones, man? The ghost is throwing the stone, and then he saves her to appear like he's the good guy, So you gotta trick him. Fake it to make it, bro. Residents in the kitchen have been warned of impending fires right before they broke out. The paid arsonists burning down Canada to justify their climate change agenda. So you gotta do fake it to make it, man.
You're finding 7 different avenues to go off on right now.
Fake it to make it, man. You're like, the world's on fire. Climate change is a huge problem. And then you're like, just got some matchsticks. And you're like, look over there. It's fucking on fire. Why do you have a fucking can of gasoline, sir? Oh, it's for my protest. I don't like gasoline cars, so I'm just gonna burn them with a gasoline. It's just so
They
funny.
got like, well, the forest fires are bad, but yeah, no, I got you. They're
A
not.
lot of 70
Are they
to
starting
80%.
Are they claiming all that's just from climate change?
That's what they're trying to do, but then they find out and they investigate that
Yeah.
70-80% of forest fires are created by arsonists, and then it brings people closer to the city. It's happened.
Or idiots,
In Alberta, there was 4 fires started in like a day. People were like, "This is really sketchy," in all these different parts, all at the same time, even though the ground is still wet. And there's no indication that they would have been started on its own. And then even there's crazy because there's trees that insulate like the forest and actually stop the forest fires from spreading. I can't remember what the tree is called. And they've been cutting those trees down like crazy. So because there's a way
tree that doesn't
that insulates it and stops the fire. It is true facts, man. And they've been cutting them down.
Like a Google search.
I don't know. Google is owned by BlackRock, so I don't know how much you're gonna find. But
what tree stops fire?
They use those lasers. Pew pew, man.
Oh, they do have fire-resistant trees.
Yeah, and they've been
so
cutting them
weird.
down. Yeah. So it's all a scam, right? You got to push people towards the cities. They're making a 15-minute city in Edmonton, I think. It's all there's all a plan.
I wish I could share my screen right now. I just clicked on a random image. It's like solution to climate crisis. ... Stop burning these trees.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's all over. We're good.
And all the CO2 gets sucked in by the trees, they love it. They
Yeah.
suck it. Without CO2, we don't have anything, right? We don't have life. It's pretty crazy. And they said, "Oh, we're gonna be under ice." Oh no, never mind. It's the pollution. Oh, the ozone layer. What happened to that? Remember when we were kids? It's like a fucking ozone layer. It's got a hole in it. Oh, fucking, now. And it's crazy. It's so funny. The people that still
How did we
deny
fix
that-
it? Did we stitch it up?
Yeah, I know.
What did we do?
Or does it not exist the way they said it did? The thing is too, it's just like it's funny because all those people that don't believe in chemtrails off tangent, and then it's just like or like them being able to manipulate the weather, and then Dubai admitted it, like, oh, we fucking cloud seeded too much and it caused this fucking horrific storm. Did you get any footage from that shit? It looked wild, man.
No, I didn't really see it.
Crazy hurricane storm, and they admitted in their papers and on their news channels that they cloud seeded and it disrupted everything, caused these massive rainstorms that was like fucking up everything. The airport was like underwater almost. Not good.
Is this about friendly ghosts still, or are we just tangenting?
Yeah, it's true. Tangent. That's what I do.
Okay.
We need to get Aaron on here sometime. We just need to do a full-on rant episode. I'll bring up really fucked up news articles. And
Sure.
that. That'll be for Patreon, everybody. So make sure to subscribe to the Patreon. There's a lot of fun stuff already on there. When a developer turned the mansion into an apartment in the 70s, reports started coming in that a spirit was appearing right before disaster struck. This Avery guy. One woman was frightened out of her bathroom just before a stone. I said that the stone was thrown through the window, almost killed her. Residents they warned about impending fire right before they broke out, and it's crazy because nearly every time there was about to be some sort of accident, Avery manifests to keep those who live in this old house, from harm. He keeps them safe. So that's nice. Isn't that nice?
It's nice of them.
So we need him. We need him in Canada. Warn everybody. He's like pointing at the arson. The guy's like, "Hey," and he like drops his can. Like, that wasn't me. What do you mean? It's like that guy did it, man. This is fucking Ghost Avery. He's a good boy.
He's probably.
Now you have me saying that stupid shit.
He's a good boy.
You often hear about ghosts in Gettysburg. We've kind of talked about that. That's on an older episode that me and Anton covered.
Okay, no, this is getting out of hand now. I'm bringing Chloe in. One second.
I'm afraid no ghost. Fucking Billy.
That's weird. That's weird.
I know.
Kind of weirding me out.
Going back and forth. I'm gonna grab Chloe just in case.
Just in case.
Something strange is going on.
I'm a friendly ghost.
Billy boy.
You went full retard, man.
I just wanna tell you all, go fuck yourself.
Oh, shit.
Fuck Billy, that son of a bitch. Fuck Billy, that son of a bitch.
So many random sound effects.
What are we listening to?
I love you, Jesus. So funny. That's from the Revelations episode. It's still on the soundboard. All right.
Fuck
There you
Billy,
go.
that son of a bitch.
We are back. Billy is back. When this is live and everything, you're gonna have to deal with it. I'll cut this stuff out of the audio though.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You often hear about the ghosts in Gettysburg. You know, me and Anton kind of covered that. We talked about the Civil War, and there's a lot of like war brings ghosts. I'm sure Afghanistan just has a fucking shitload of ghosts. You know, going Al Akbar. You're like, what the fuck was that shit?
Allah Akbar.
But like I'm sure, and the thing is, or it's just resident. We always talked about this, like the energy, right? The idea that it's like because of the trauma that's inflicted in that reality at that time and place, that it kind of is stuck there. They're not actually intelligent ghosts. It's like an imprint in time. Because that's a lot of times I feel like with ghosts, the people, guns going off, where it's just a traumatic imprint into the reality, and then it carries on into our current reality. You know. Pretty weird. So as consistent as one, the bloodiest battles of the nation. However, one of the most notable ghosts that came out of Gettysburg isn't even that of a soldier. Jeannie, also called Jeannie. Jeannie, it's Jennie, or also called Jennie, also called Ginny. Ginny. Ginny or Ginny?
Ginny or Jeannie. Yeah, for sure.
Wade was a midwife during the time of the Civil War who baked bread for the soldiers every morning. One morning, however, she was struck by a stray bullet and died.
That's a lot of bread.
Yeah, it's every day, man. That's a lot of bread.
How many soldiers?
I know, it's a lot of bread. You know what else she's doing too, though?
Yeah, she's probably
gangbangs, man. Gangbangs the soldiers. You look so white, man.
I don't know what you did to my filter.
You look whiter than a ghost.
You're filtering over me right now for sure. There's no way.
It said she was buried with bread dough still on her hands. That bitch loved to bake, man.
She was yeah.
When they buried her in a loaf of bread. It's like a big croissant.
All the maggots will get at you.
It's true. After that day, the story goes that the ghost continues to appear. People say they smell bread baking as the spirit passes, and they can even hear her kneading dough. What does that sound like?
Yeah, it's not a pleasant sound.
It sounds like someone's whacking off. When she appears, it is often said that people she appears to people who are sad or grieving, much as a trained medic would, and she smiles at them and tries to comfort them in their hour of need. She's just here to bake bread and ease your nerves, not to send you shrieking away. So she's a fun one, just baking her bread.
Nice. I wouldn't mind that one around. That'd be all right.
Yeah. But when they mean baking her bread, they mean that she's fingering herself. That's a code word. Just in the corner, just kneading her dough. Get
it? You're fucking unhinged today.
A little bit. This happens in the morning. Fucking Jesus. And there's some times I record with Aaron, I'm drinking like a Caesar at fucking 10 in the morning. And he's like in Ireland 5 hours ahead. So this is our last story of the evening. So turn the lights down low. Yeasting it all up for y'all. Get it?
That's gross. That's disgusting. Is that what he fucking said?
Yeah. That's disgusting, Dutch.
Way to go over the line, Dutch.
Fucking gross, man. If you got yeast infections, you gotta get that checked out. You gotta eat healthy. You gotta do something. Something's not right down there. Makes you want to throw up.
Why are we still carry on?
Some ladies like, it's not my fault. It is your fault. It is your fault. While this story may be grim, the ghost in question certainly was helpful. In 1897, a young woman, Elva Zona. Wow, she has a long name. Elva Zona Hester Shue. Elva Zona Hester Shue is her name. Was found dead in her home. Her husband grieved, her mother mourned, and everyone was sad about her passing. From what appeared to be complications from a pregnancy. The story could have easily ended there, but Elva wasn't going to let it rest. Over the next few weeks, Elva's mother began to see her deceased daughter in her dreams. Her daughter told her that the death had not been natural and that her husband, Edward Shue, was really to blame. It was Edward. It was always Edward.
He probably did it. So what did she do after?
That's weird. That's weird.
Denied.
So what did she do after?
So she obviously, the ghost said he broke her neck.
Ooh.
Snapped her like a
How'd
popsicle.
the ghost say that?
Yeah.
What'd
And
the
she
ghost
had
say
been
it on?
she'd been abusive before, and that they must have caught him for her murder. Oh, that he's been abusive. He's an abusive boy, and that they must catch him for her murder. Somehow, believing that's the story, authorities exhumed the body to find the neck was broken and the windpipe had been collapsed. They didn't check beforehand. What did they? She died, and then they just like threw in the dirt as soon as they possibly could. Like the husband's like, "No, she's gone. Well, we haven't seen your wife in a while. Where is she? She died. How'd she die? Oh, the pregnancy. She died because of the baby. The baby did it. The baby killed her." And then he just like tosses her in the back. Why did you have a? Why was there a 6-foot deep fucking hole a week before she died that you were digging
I have
up?
no idea. It's totally coincidental.
I'm just planting the garden, you know?
I put all my trees, I start them 6 feet deep. So like in 2-3 years, they break through the ground. It's all good.
That's where I want to, you know how you can be made into like, you can put like, they put your body in like a sack underneath a tree and then you can grow, and then you plant a tree, you can grow with the tree. That's how I want to go out. I want to become mycelium. I want to become the one with the
Your
mushroom.
tree would die before it even got like past knee height.
This is what could be this decrepit tree.
You'd start growing into fucking mushrooms.
That's what I want. I want to become a mushroom. I want to become one with the mycelium. Supposedly mushrooms talk to each other, man. It's pretty wild. They say like 7 words to each other.
Ooh, at a time. How the hell did we find that out?
I don't know, some scientific bullshit. After more investigation, Sue was found guilty for the murder. The man, Edward, was sentenced to life in prison. This was, was to be the only time a ghost's testimony had ever been used in a conviction of a murderer. So they used ghosts, like this ghost told me in my dreams that he murdered her. And then they caught him, man. They got him. They got him good. Murdered his wife, and they got him good. You know? Pretty crazy. Out of all the ghosts, which one would you rather have the most?
Which one's that?
Which one?
Probably I like the one that cleans and does I like that one.
You want the maid, yeah.
Yeah,
that would be kind of nice.
That'd be sick. Like you just like leave whatever fucking mess you want, and carry on, turn around, and be like, it's all nice. Thanks.
It would be kind of nice to have like a leprechaun, fix your shoes and clean them and shit.
Or find the gold.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That one actually.
Yeah.
That was probably my favorite.
But you gotta have gold somewhere, right? You gotta you almost like need a
100%.
pirate ghost, Get that booty, Get that booty.
Sure.
It's time for Billy's Fun Fact of the Day!
Jesus.
You pulled it on to me too quick. 1 second.
Billy's looking for us. I hope everybody had fun with this. It's supposed to be a fun time before we start getting into some really dark shit, conspiracy-wise. I got serial killers lined up. We have a bunch of fun stuff. We have stuff about, some in-depth subjects that is going to be interesting for all to hear. We have UFOs coming up. We have serial killers, true crime, cattle mutilation, aliens. We have stuff in the pipeline, so be prepared. Pay attention. Listen up. 5-star rating reviews. You know what to do.
Petrichor.
Okay.
You know what that is?
No. Do you?
It's literally the smell of rain has a fucking word, and that's kind of cool because it's just
That's
water.
your fun fact.
I like it. It's kind of cool. I think it's cool. It's called petrichor, and it's when it rains, it like mixes in with the you're finding a shitty little fucking boo. Yeah, there it is. That's a cool fun fact. You didn't know it, and now you do.
You don't have any other? That was a shit one, man.
Fine. I thought it was cool, but whatever. Let's go fuck myself.
Tell me the average IQ in East India.
India.
Nice. The
Ranks
smartest country.
India ranks 143 with 76.24 average IQ.
Oh yeah, I see. I'm on this chart. Wow, Japan's got the smartest people.
Was that any sort
Canada's
of guess?
9th. That's not bad. We're doing okay. Switzerland, man, number 2 at the smartest, the highest IQ. But you can't. It's like Nobel Prize ranking. It's like you can't you can't say that. Israel's at 22. You dumb fucks. Oh, that's so funny. Singapore is at the bottom with 25. Poland's 21. Norway's 19. There's no America. America's not on. Oh yeah, wow. United States is 4th. I'm surprised because there's a lot of dumb fucking people in the United States, man.
It's IQ test too. Like those don't really match up the way you think.
No, it doesn't. And like the thing is, if you think you're smart because you got a fucking bullshit degree in like gender ideology, you're like, oh fucking like whatever. Because there's like the dumbest the things you can get, and then it has your name on it. Like I'm this smart, you know. And even though those people are retarded. You know, you only know what you're taught, right? So if you're taught to believe that a schooling system is, to be educated, but then if you're being educated by nonsense, then you got a degree in nonsense, you know? That's why I think it's funny that people rate their intelligence by like, I went to university. For fucking what, man? What did you go to university for? For computer sciences and you can't even turn on a computer? Yeah, business. And then you don't have a business. You don't know how to run a business, you know? Can't work a hard day in your life. Fuck those fucking communists.
Anyways, this was nice.
This was a fun time. We're gonna be getting into a lot of fun stuff. Like I got a lot of stuff in the go. At some point, we're gonna be bringing Aaron and Billy and all of us together. At some point, even if we can get Brett, the whole crowd, at some point to do something really fun. There's a chance that's coming down the pipeline. I have a really fun episode that me, Aaron, and Billy could do probably for the first time. Something kind of fucked up. Cool. So there's some cool stuff that's in the works, and this is why we tell everyone, support the show with Patreon. You can buy our shirts. Billy's got his Strange Brew sweater on. I got mine on too. You can get those at the site, www.strangebrewpodcast.com. We have a new fuck communism design. It's really fun. I like it. And then we have like a bunch of cool stuff in the works for the show and for the merch site. I got to revamp the website a little bit. We have our new intro. So everybody, stay strange out there. Support the show. Tell your friends. We're reaching more and more people all the time. If you're watching the live on Rumble or X or whatever, give us a follow, a like, all that shit. Do what you can. It's very simple to press the like button and to give a thumbs up. Give a nice comment on YouTube or wherever Rumble you ever listen. It goes a long way, everybody. It goes a long way, and we appreciate it more than you think. All right.
Cheers.
Fuck. Now I will.
Now I'll go. All right.